If you've changed your PlayStation Plus subscription to take advantage of its different tiers, but are overwhelmed with what to play next, have no fear. Here's a rundown of the best games to play on PlayStation Plus for August 2022. Let's kick off with the free PlayStation Plus monthly games for August then, which you can download and play if you have a PlayStation Plus Essential, Extra, or Premium subscription. Spoiler alert, this is going to be a very Yakuza heavy video. And the first free game on the list is Yakuza Like a Dragon for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Yakuza Like a Dragon has you play as Ichiban Kasuga, a low-ranking member of a Yakuza crime family who takes the fall for a murder someone else committed, only to be cast aside by the patriarch of his family and left for dead. Abandoned and betrayed by his family, Ichiban gets a questionable haircut and creates a new family of misfits who inadvertently involve themselves in risky Yakuza politics, dangerous turf wars, and delightful confectionery stores. While the other Yakuza games are button-mashing brawlers, Like a Dragon is turn-based, with the vivid imaginations of your party members adding a little magic to the everyday weapons you find lying around the bustling streets of Ijincho. And if you get fed up with your current moveset, a new one is just a job change away. Make sure to grab Yakuza Like a Dragon before September 6th. Rise and grind, baby! Your next free game for August is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for PS4 and PS5. The 2020 remake of two of the most iconic PlayStation 1 games is fantastic, and we here at GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10 in our review. The game was remade from the ground up, with environments receiving a fresh lick of paint, the original 21 skateboarders have been aged up to their current age, and a number of new faces have also been added to the roster. The soundtrack is a mix of songs from the original games and 37 new tracks. And before you ask, yes, Superman by Goldfinger is still on there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater feels as fun to play now as it did back in 1999, so you'll be pulling off wild high-flying combos in no time. If you're in the mood for a puzzle platformer that'll creep you out as much as entertain you, then Little Nightmares is the game for you, and it rounds off the monthly August games for PS Plus. As 6, you need to escape the Maw, a terrifying underwater resort that's filled with monsters who are on the hunt for fresh meat. It's a relatively straightforward platformer that you'll likely finish in a couple of sittings, but it's a creepy trip that'll keep you entertained throughout its runtime. I wasn't joking when I said this would be a Yakuza heavy episode, because 8, yes you heard me right, 8 Yakuza games are coming to PlayStation Plus this year, meaning you'll be able to play all of Kazuma Kiryu's story in one place. I already mentioned that Yakuza Like a Dragon will be one of August's monthly games, and the rest are coming to the game catalog, which you can access if you're a PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium member. While you don't need to have played the other Yakuza games to enjoy or understand Like a Dragon, they certainly are complimentary. The Yakuza series is having a real moment lately, and thanks to its recent surge in popularity, more and more people are getting to enjoy the thrills, zany side missions, melodrama, fisticuffs, and karaoke that the series offers. If you're worried about being overwhelmed by too much Yakuza, have no fear. The games are coming in 2 separate drops. Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 will all be joining the game catalog in August, along with Like a Dragon. Yakuza 0 is the canonical start of the series, telling the story of the early days of hero Kazuma Kiryu and how he meets Goro Majima in 1980s Kamurocho, Japan. It's followed by Kiwami and Kiwami 2, remakes of Yakuza 1 and 2, but with a new engine, extra story cutscenes, and gameplay elements like the fan favorite Majima Everywhere mechanic. I'm not gonna delve too deeply into spoiler territory, but the rest of Kiryu's saga, Yakuza 3 Remastered, 4 Remastered, 5 Remastered, and 6 The Song of Life will be added to the service at a later date, and they are well worth playing. There's a lot of Yakuza on PlayStation Plus this year, and honestly, I'm excited for you if you decide to get into the series now. It's one of my favorites, and there's no better time to dive in. For extra and premium subscribers, July's game catalog titles dropped a couple of weeks ago, so here's a quick roundup in case there are any that you missed. First up, Stray. If you've been on the internet over the past month, it's been impossible to miss clips of the adorable cat that's the star of Stray and the real-life cats that have also been enraptured by the game. You're in the shoes, or should I say paws, of a cat separated from its sweet cat family and dropped into a dilapidated, run-down city slum. Along with your drone friend B12 and the robots who inhabit the slums, you explore the city and try to find your way back out by solving various puzzles and platforming around the buildings. There's also a dedicated meow button, so what more could you ask for? It's available on both PS4 and PS5. Also available is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for PlayStation 5, the upgraded version of Final Fantasy VII Remake which stunned players when it launched in 2020. At GameSpot, we gave Final Fantasy VII Remake a rare 10 out of 10, and Intergrade packages the base game with a bunch of extra features, including improved textures, graphics and performance mode so you can choose what to prioritize, an in-depth photo mode, and DualSense integration so you can feel every strike of that giant Buster Sword. Intergrade also includes a new episode of the story, Intermission, where you can play as the cutest ninja around, Yuffie. If you're waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or want to experience the story for the first time, Intergrade is the perfect way to do both. If the recent news of Marvel's Phase 5 has you hyped, give Marvel's Avengers a go on PlayStation. In single player, you can play as some of the Earth's mightiest heroes as they battle evil criminal organization AIM, and in multiplayer, you can level your characters and take them online. New heroes like the mighty Thor and Black Panther have been added since launch, with more reportedly on the way. The game's multiplayer can certainly be a bit of a grind, but it's still enjoyable with some pals, and the single player is a fun, snappy story about heroes who have lost confidence in themselves and the journey to reuniting them as a team. If you fancy digging into some history and making it your playground, try some Assassin's Creed on for size. A number of Ubisoft's flagship games are in the game catalogue, including the Ezio Collection, Rogue Remastered, and my personal favourite, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, where you can take to the high seas as pirate Edward Kenway. So if you're waiting for the next mainline installment of Assassin's Creed, well, there are hundreds of hours of games here for you. And finally, a pick from the Classics catalogue, which is available to premium subscribers. If you missed Tokyo Jungle when it originally launched on PlayStation 3, you can find it here. Tokyo Jungle is a throwback to classic, easy to pick up and hard to put down gameplay, with a quirky and brutal twist. Humankind has gone, nature has reclaimed the land, and all the animals are so vicious. You can control everything from a tiny little Pomeranian to a majestic lion, and your goal is simply to survive. It's kill or be killed out there on the streets of Tokyo, so that cute Pomeranian has to be bloodthirsty to live another day. Yes, Tokyo Jungle is brutal, but it's also very funny and a wonderful little gem that would otherwise be lost to time. So give it a try if you've got premium. Those are our picks for games to play on PlayStation Plus this month. There are hundreds of games on the service, and the catalogs are constantly changing, so make sure to subscribe to find the best games to play to get the most out of your subscription. Let me know what you'll be playing in the comments below, or highlight some games you think deserve more love. I'm on Twitter at LucyJamesGames, and I'll see you next time.